Welcome back. Joining us now is a new addition to tonight's panel, Connecticut Congresswoman Jahana Hayes of Connecticut's 5th District. Congresswoman Hayes, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And once again, we are also joined by Scott X. Esdale. He is the president of the Connecticut NAACP. And Keith Mello, Milford Police Chief, also the head of the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association. And my co-moderator tonight is Juan Castillo. And Juan, I'll let you get the first question here with the Congresswoman.
Yes. Congresswoman, first of all, congratulations on making history. We're very proud that you made it to Washington, D.C. And in addition to that, the question that I have for you, there's a new bill that the Democrats have put out there around, some criminal justice reform. And one of the issues is limited immunity for police officers. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, hi Juan, how are you? And thank you, I appreciate that. House Democrats just released a bill, the Justice in Policing Act. It was actually led by the CBC, which is the Congressional Black Caucus. The thing is, many of the things that we ask for in accountability, in training, and federal police departments living up to these standards are things that have been included every year in in the CBC's proposals and never made it to the final budget. So we've been calling for these reforms, and they were calling for them long before I got there. The ending qualified immunity portion of it means that we want to strike away the part of law that says by virtue of having the uniform on, you cannot be held personally accountable for, in essence, having committed a crime. Right now, departments around the country have that immunity status, and we'd like to remove that.
I want to bring in Chief Mello to respond to that, Chief.
When it comes to those issues of civil liability, I think that I'm going to leave those to the experts and the lawmakers. We don't make law. We will certainly offer our opinions during which we think during the important public hearing, the important public debate, and our perspective. But I'm going to focus more on leading police officers and training police officers and influencing police officers to make sure that we work hard to keep people safe, till we improve the quality of life, and that everyone feels equal under the criminal justice system. And that's a work in progress. It will always be. And so I'm going to put my efforts towards that area. And so quite honestly, I'm not really worried about that. I'm not concerned about that. And so I'll leave that to those that make the laws.
Chief, thank you very much. And Mr. Esdale, we're going to have you weigh in with the next. Welcome back. Let's introduce our team tonight. Juan Castillo of radio station 94.3 WYBC is our co-moderator tonight. Our panelists include Milford Police Chief Keith Mello, president of the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association, Congresswoman Jahana Hayes, and Scott X. Esdale. He's the president of the Connecticut chapter of the NAACP. And Mr. Esdale, I'm going to have you weigh in on this after I ask this question of the Congresswoman, and that is, so many, you're a parent, you're a mom, so many young kids out there are listening to music performed by some well-paid performers who regularly use the N-word in their lyrics. And then the kids go out and repeat them, and they don't even really know what the word means. And I'm wondering, what do you think of that?
About the use of the N-word?
Yes, in lyrics and songs and concerts and things like that.
It's unacceptable anywhere, and I think that we have to stop making it socially acceptable, whether it be through music or people speaking. But again, music and the use of the N-word is not the totality of what got us here. I've been listening to the entire program, and I think one of the things that has to, I penned an op-ed last week that ended with, we have to have some honest conversations. What we're seeing does not just happen in Minnesota. It happens right here in Connecticut. I've seen it too many times in my lifetime. And it's not just a result of language and phrases. These are socialized norms that have become acceptable. You know, even when we talk about Minnesota, the officer that now has been arrested was a field training officer. So with 18 marks on his jacket, he was tasked with training 2 brand new officers, which tells me that that was socially an accepted part of the culture. So this is unacceptable. And now I think is the time to say we're just not going to tolerate it in any form.
Mr. Esdale, is it okay for a performer to use the N-word in lyrics or in a performance?
Dennis, I'm not even going to entertain that question because that has nothing to do with the subject matter that you invited me out here.
Well, the reason why I'm asking you this is because this was a viewer, a few viewers asked about that.
Let me finish. Because, this is about officers killing people and walking away with no consequences. And that's pretty much what I was invited here to talk about, and that's what I'm here to talk about. And that has nothing to do, once again, with what happened in West Haven, where the officers, state police officers, pulled over a young man, broke the window, and shot him 7 times. This is an open case that's going on in West Haven right now. And this is where we need accountability right now. And we need those police officers arrested right now for bloody murder right now. So that's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm here for to discuss. And I don't even want to get into entertainers and what they do in their music right now, because that's not the discussion, and that's not what the protests are over. That's not what the rallies are. That's not why the cities are burning all across America right now.
Well, I understand that. We just wanted to ask that question because a viewer had asked it because so many young people look up to these performers as role models.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Chief Mello, would you like to weigh in on this?
I actually don't. I'm not concerned with what music people listen to.
We're going to take a quick time out.
Yeah, it's just. I have to agree with Scott. It's not really what we're here to talk about. It's just not my concern what people listen to.
Well, we're talking about race and justice tonight, and
I understand, but it's just not something that I'm concerned about.
Okay.